If you've spent any time looking at Northeast Florida, you've heard the name. It's one of the most talked about communities in the whole area, and for a lot of people moving here, it's the first place they look. But once you start putting it up against the other options in St. Johns County, the question changes pretty fast. It stops being about whether Nocatee is nice because, yeah, obviously, newer homes, big amenities, strong reputation. The real question becomes, what are you actually getting for the price? And that's what I want to walk through today, not the brochure version, what it actually feels like to live here day to day. The first thing you notice, and you notice it fast, is how connected everything feels. A lot of newer communities are still figuring themselves out, half-built, still waiting on the shopping, the schools, the restaurants. Nocatee is already there, the town center, the dining, the amenities. It's all in one place, all working together. So your normal week just gets simpler. You're not constantly leaving the area to handle the basics. And depending on where your house is, some of those trips are quick. Sometimes you don't even have to get on a main road. It's a small thing, but it changes the whole feel of it. Instead of living in a neighborhood that's separate from everything, it feels like everything was built around you. And that's a big part of why people are drawn to it. Now, the amenities. This is where Nocatee really separates itself from most communities in the county. You're not talking about a pool and a little clubhouse. These are large-scale amenity centers, water parks, fitness facilities, miles of trails, community spaces. And here's the part that actually matters. People use them regularly. You'll see families at the water parks, people out walking and biking the trails, events happening all through the year. So it becomes part of your actual life, not just something that looks good on a tour and then you never touch again. That's what makes it feel like a lifestyle instead of a feature on a list. But I'll be straight with you, that's also part of what you're paying for. It shows up in the pricing and the fees, so it comes down to whether you'll use it enough for it to be worth it, and for a lot of people, they do. Here's one people don't fully get until they see it in person. In certain parts of Nocatee, you can genuinely get around on a golf cart or a bike for everyday stuff. School runs, a trip to the town center, just moving around your area. And that's a completely different daily experience than most of St. Johns County, where you're driving everywhere for everything. For some people, that's one of the biggest quality of life upgrades they didn't even know they wanted. One honest caveat though, it depends on where you are in Nocatee. Not every section has the same level of access. So this is one of those things that feels really different depending on your exact spot, worth paying attention to when you're picking a home. Then there's the location itself, which is a bigger deal than people give it credit for. Nocatee sits in a spot that gives you pretty easy access to both Jacksonville and the beaches over in Ponte Vedra. So whether you're commuting north or you just want to be near the coast on the weekend, that's a real advantage. And the Nocatee Parkway makes getting in and out a lot smoother than some other parts of the county. So you get this balance. It feels kind of self-contained, like its own little world, but you're still well connected to everything around it. And that mix of access and separation is something people end up valuing more the longer they live here. And this is where it all comes together because Nocatee has a very specific personality. It's family-oriented. A lot of kids, a lot of activities, a strong sense of community. You feel it in the schools, the events, the way people actually use the neighborhood spaces. It's active, it's social, and it's consistent. But I'm not going to pretend that's for everyone. Some people want quieter, less structured, more space, and that's completely fair. So it's less about whether Nocatee is good or bad, it clearly works, and more about whether it fits how you want to live. So when you're looking at Nocatee, the real question isn't just what it offers, it's how that lifestyle lines up with how you actually want to live day to day. If you want help figuring that out, reach out. Happy to walk through it with you. That's it for this one. See you next time.